Hello, this is Jonesy from Jonesy TV coming at you with a review for Arrow Season 4, Episode 6, Lost Souls. This episode was great because finally we get the storylines put together, the Ray Palmer storyline that Felicity and Curtis have been dealing with, and the storyline of Sarah. Of course, she's been raised from the dead in the previous episode, and so they finally figure out that Ray has been shrunk and Damien Dark has him as prisoner. So that's sort of how they combine the two storylines. Because, of course, Dark's the main villain this season, and they have Ray being captured by him. And this episode's really fun. I really think this episode was enjoyable. There's lots of good aspects to this episode. And they handled the whole Ray, Laurel, and or Ray, Oliver, and Felicity love triangle thing well. They didn't do a terrible job like Legends of Tomorrow did with the Hawks, Hawkman and Hawkgirl triangle with Ray. But anyway, besides that, this episode was fantastic. It was actually great. I liked a lot of the fighting choreography, especially the scene where they're fighting Dark's hive men, or whenever they go into break into the facility to save Ray. Oliver's fight with Damien Dark, I thought was pretty cool. How Damien Dark used the chain to put around him, and there's of course Felicity's mom came back, and I think she's the low point of the show. Like honestly, this episode, like she's funny, but I don't get why she's there. I honestly don't see why they had to put her back in. That's the main complaint I have with Arrow. It's the drama, and she is basically, summarizes it all. Some people are like, oh, she's good in some episodes. I really don't like Felicity's mom in Arrow. I really think she's a poorly made character, and I really don't. I just don't like her. I don't think she brings much to the show. Although she does bring a little bit of comedic relief, I guess, which was good this episode. But the thing that was sort of annoying about this episode is the way they did, whenever they ended the episode and they had saved Sarah and Ray, they sort of just left. It was like unceremonious, very unceremonious. They just left. Of course, they were trying to set up for Legends of Tomorrow, but still, you could have had a little bit more of a goodbye and a little bit more of emotion there. And it seemed abrupt. But really, this episode was great because it wraps up the Legend of Tomorrow storylines that were connected to Arrow, except for the two-part Arrow Flash crossover, and so the show can really start focusing on its own storylines after this point. And I didn't mind the Legend of Tomorrow storylines, but they seemed like sort of shoehorned in occasionally because Felicity and Curtis were always off doing something else involving Ray, and Thea and Laurel were off doing something involving resurrecting Sarah, and so you really didn't get that cohesive Team Arrow unit, and it was really sweet. It was sort of like there's multiple moments in Arrow this season. I believe the other episode is Legends of Yesterday, but this episode sort of seemed like a cool episode because it seemed sort of like a Justice League type thing. Seeing all the different heroes fighting against Hive at once was sweet. Everything was made beautifully. I really liked it. So this episode is fantastic. I truly think it's one of my more favorite episodes this season. People say it was bad because the unceremonious leaving, and yeah, that's bad, but I wouldn't say it's terrible. And this episode, it was just fun. Some episodes of Arrow just seem to be weighed down so much with character drama that they're just bland, but this episode was genuinely a fun episode. There's funny moments, there's great action sequences, and so I'd have to give it an 8 out of 10. I won't give it a 9, I won't give it an 8.5 because it wasn't perfect. There's moments where it could have been better, but overall I found it to be quite enjoyable. So this has been my review, Jonesy from Jonesy TV, of Arrow Season 4 Episode 6, Lost Souls. I hope you've enjoyed, and like and subscribe for more reviews and content. I'll see you next time.